Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are discussing methods to calculate national income. First method, which is value added method. So let's begin. So how we calculate national income using value added method? First we find out the value added to a product by each production unit at various stages of production. तो कोई भी प्रोडक्शन यूनिट आउटपुट जनरेट करने के लिए रॉ मटेरियल परचेज करती है और उसमें कुछ वैल्यू ऐड करती है टू प्रोड्यूस अ फाइनल गुड, राइट? एंड दिस वैल्यू एडेड बाय ईच प्रोडक्शन यूनिट, इट इज कॉल्ड GVAMP, that is gross value added at market price. So as we know, there are various production units in an economy. So to calculate what amount of total final goods and services are produced in an economy, we take sum of value added by all production units. That is, हम क्या करते हैं, हमें ये देखने के लिए कि इकोनॉमी में टोटल गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज कितने प्रोड्यूस हुए हैं, जितनी भी प्रोडक्शन यूनिट्स हैं उन्होंने जो भी वैल्यू ऐड किया हम उन सबका सम लेंगे. सो वी टेक सम ऑफ GVAMP ऑफ ऑल प्रोडक्शन यूनिट्स which gives us GDPMP. And as we know, GDPMP is nothing but the total amount of goods and services produced in an economy in a given year. So when you take the sum of GVAMP of all the production units, you will get GDPMP, and from GDPMP we can easily calculate national income. Now how each production unit find out the value added to a good by them? So for that the simple formula is value added is equal to value of output minus intermediate consumption. Now how do you calculate, how production units calculate the value of output produced by them? तो उन्होंने एक साल में कितना टोटल आउटपुट प्रोड्यूस किया है वो कैसे देखेंगे? इजीली अपनी सेल से देख सकते हैं जितना उन्होंने सेल किया है, प्लस दे कैन टेक इनटू अकाउंट द अनसोल्ड स्टॉक. So the formula is value of output produced is equal to sales plus change in stock. Change in stock is also known as value of unsold stock. We can calculate change in stock using the formula closing stock minus opening stock. Then value of output produced can also be calculated using the quantity produced and the market price. तो अगर किसी प्रोडक्शन यूनिट के पास उसे पता है कि उन्होंने टोटल कितना आउटपुट जनरेट किया, उसकी क्वांटिटी उन्हें पता है और मार्केट प्राइस पता है, सो दे विल मल्टीप्लाई द टू एंड दे विल इजीली find out the value of output produced in a given year, right? Then how do you calculate sales? Now it is possible that production unit has sold some goods within the domestic territory. Also they have sold some goods to the foreigners. So there are domestic sales and there are exports. Domestic sales and exports are added to get the total sales. Please keep this point in mind while solving numericals for national income using value added method. They at times give you sales and exports separately in the numerical. So don't get confused. If sales are given, that means it is total sale, which is including domestic as well as export. You don't need to include exports separately in that case, right? Then sales can also be calculated using the formula output sold into market price. Intermediate consumption is equal to domestic purchase plus imports. Intermediate consumption is purchase of raw material. Raw material can be purchased domestically also. You can purchase raw material from outside, that will be your imports of raw material. But if in the numerical intermediate consumption is given, that means it includes both domestic as well as imports. Then next topic is problem of double counting. So what happens is that while calculating national income using value added method, we might face the problem of double counting. That is counting the value of any good or service more than once. So let's understand with the help of example this problem of double counting, right? So here first of all, farmer is producing a wheat which is of value rupees 20. Then the flour mill is purchasing this wheat from the farmer to produce flour which is of value 30. Then baker will purchase the flour from the flour mill and producing a final good which is bread, and its value is rupees 40. Right. Now if I ask you what is the total value of goods produced in an economy in this given example, then you will simply add the value of wheat फ्लावर एंड ब्रेड. अब टोटल गुड्स कितने इकोनॉमी में प्रोड्यूस हुए, आप कहोगे 3 गुड्स प्रोड्यूस हुए, व्हीट, फ्लावर एंड ब्रेड. सो यू विल ऐड 20, 30 एंड 40 which is equal to 90. But is it the correct answer? Is this the actual amount of goods and services produced in an economy? No. Here we are committing double counting. That is, we are calculating the value of wheat thrice and value of flour twice. How? अब जब फ्लावर मिल ने व्हीट परचेज करी फार्मर से और उसने फ्लावर प्रोड्यूस किया, उसकी वैल्यू है 30. सो दिस फ्लावर, द वैल्यू 30, इट ऑल्सो इंक्लूड्स द वैल्यू ऑफ व्हीट. वो अपना फ्लावर 30 रुपीज़ में सेल कर रहा है, लेकिन क्या उसमें उसने रॉ मटेरियल की वैल्यू इंक्लूड नहीं करी होगी? डेफिनेटली करी है. तो ये 30 रुपीज़ में व्हीट की वैल्यू भी है 20 रुपीज़. सो एक्चुअल वैल्यू एडेड हियर इज ऑफ 10. Similarly, in the final good bread, the value of bread is 40, which already includes the value of wheat as well as flour. So to overcome this problem, what can be done? First, we can only consider the value of final good, and in this case it is bread. And we know that the value of bread, it already includes the value of wheat and flour. So your answer will be how many goods and services are produced in an economy. You can say the value is rupees 40. Right. Second method is that you can calculate the value added at each stage and then take its sum. So let's look into this, how value added can be calculated at each stage. So farmer is adding the value of 20. Flour mill is adding the value 30 minus 20, which is 10. Baker is adding the value 40 minus 30, which is 10. So we will take the sum of 20, 10 plus 10, which is same, again 40. So these are the two methods through which you can avoid double counting. That is, first, you can include the value of only final goods and services to calculate national income. Second, that you take the sum total of value added by each production unit. Right, so I hope this is clear to you now. Let's move on to the numericals now. Now here in this numerical, they are asking you to find out net value added at factor cost. So net value added at factor cost हमें निकालना, और हमने अभी पीछे जो भी हमने फॉर्मूला सीखे उससे हमने देखा कि जब भी हम किसी प्रोडक्शन यूनिट की वैल्यू एडेड कैलकुलेट करते हैं तो इट गिव्स अस GVA-MP. तो वैल्यू एडेड निकालने के लिए हमें दो चीज़ें चाहिए, वैल्यू ऑफ आउटपुट एंड इंटरमीडिएट कंजम्पशन. तो इंटरमीडिएट कंजम्पशन में डायरेक्टली न्यूमेरिकल में दिया हुआ है, विच इज़ 48. वैल्यू ऑफ आउटपुट का फॉर्मूला क्या होता है? सेल्स प्लस चेंज इन स्टॉक. सेल्स हमें गिवन है डायरेक्टली 200 एंड चेंज इन स्टॉक हम निकाल सकते हैं, उसका फॉर्मूला है क्लोजिंग स्टॉक माइनस ओपनिंग स्टॉक. नाउ लेट्स सी व्हाट विल बी द स्टेप्स टू सॉल्व द न्यूमेरिकल्स. So we'll write the formula value added is equal to value of output minus IC, which will give you GVA-MP. So value of output is equal to sales plus change in stock. You will put the values, you will get the value 195 crores. Right, so GVA-MP, that is value added, is equal to value of output, which we have already find out 195 minus intermediate consumption, which is given in the numerical 48. So put the values, you will get 147 crores is your GVA-MP. अब GVA-MP से easily NVA-FC निकाल सकते हैं. हम ग्रॉस से नेट पे जा रहे हैं, so depreciation माइनस होगा, and then MP से FC पे जा रहे हैं, so you will subtract net indirect taxes. Depreciation is directly given to you in the numerical. For net indirect taxes, we will consider excise tax. यहाँ पे हमें subsidies given नहीं है. So you will subtract excise tax value, which is 20. So GVA-MP 147 minus 12, which is depreciation, minus 20, which is net indirect tax. You will get your answer 115 crores. Please remember, in the numerical you should always write the unit. Right, like here it is given rupees in crores, so you must write down your final answer in rupees crores. Okay. Then next numerical example. Now you have understood that whenever you are calculating national income using the value added method, the first step is to calculate the value added. So you have to calculate GVA-MP and उसका simple formula है value of output minus intermediate consumption. So यहाँ पे आपको दिया हुआ है purchase of raw material 3400, which is your intermediate consumption. Sales आपको given है 12,800 increase in unsold stock. This is your change in stock, which is 1000. So sales is given, change in stock is given. You can easily calculate value of output. It will come out to be 13,800 crores, right? And then intermediate consumption 3400 is given, so we can find out GVA MP, which is value of output minus intermediate consumption. So you will get your answer, that is 13,800 minus 3400 is your GVA MP. Now GVA MP is same as GDP MP, right? तो जब हमने GVA MP निकाला वही हमारा GDP MP भी है, that is 10,400. Now from this you can calculate national income. So national income aggregate is NNPFC. Now you will see from GDP MP to NNPFC, we are going from gross to net, so you will subtract depreciation, domestic to national जा रहे हैं plus NFI, but in this numerical NFI is not given, so you will ignore it. Then minus net indirect taxes. Net indirect taxes is indirect taxes minus subsidy. Numerical, it is already given, indirect taxes 900, subsidy is 200. So we only and only have to put the values and you'll get your final answer, that is your national income is equal to rupees 9300 crores. And the last topic, precautions of value added method. Now when you are calculating national income using the value added method, there are certain precautions which you have to keep in mind. First, intermediate goods are not included. ये अभी हमने समझा, if you will include the value of intermediate goods, it will lead to double counting. So you will only and only include the value of all final goods and services. Sale and purchase of second hand goods is not included. सेकेंड हैंड गुड्स की सेल परचेज इंक्लूड नहीं करते. जिस साल में वो गुड प्रोड्यूस हुआ था उसकी वैल्यू उस ईयर की इनकम में इंक्लूड होगी, ठीक है. सो फॉर सेकेंड हैंड गुड सेल एंड परचेज इट इज नॉट इंक्लूडेड इन कैलकुलेटिंग नेशनल इनकम, बट येस if there is some brokerage fee or commission is involved, then that will be calculated in the income of the current year. Production of service for self consumption are not included, like you are giving tuitions to your sibling. अब इसकी कोई मार्केट वैल्यू नहीं है. जिस तरह से आप अपने सिबलिंग को पढ़ाओगे वैसे आप किसी आउटसाइडर को नहीं पढ़ाओगे, सो इट्स मार्केट वैल्यू कैन नॉट बी कैलकुलेटेड, सो इट्स अ नॉन मार्केट ट्रांजेक्शन. सो प्रोडक्शन ऑफ सर्विस फॉर सेल्फ कंजम्पशन दे आर नॉट इंक्लूडेड, but if you are producing goods for self consumption they are included because it is adding to the current flow of goods and services. और इसकी मार्केट वैल्यू भी आप निकाल सकते हो. मान लो आपने घर में वीट ग्रो करी, तो उस वीट की मार्केट वैल्यू से आप जज कर सकते हो आपने कितनी वीट ग्रो करी, और अगर वो वीट आप खुद यूज नहीं करते तो आप उसे मार्केट से परचेज करते, राइट. सो इट इज एडिंग टू द फ्लो ऑफ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज, सो इट विल बी इंक्लूडेड. देन इम्प्यूटेड वैल्यू ऑफ ओनर ऑक्यूपाइड हाउसेज शुड बी इंक्लूडेड. अगर हम मान लो अपने ही घर में रह रहे हैं और अगर अपना घर नहीं होता तो बाहर से रेंट करते घर को और उसका रेंट पे करते, ठीक है. तो हम उसकी जिस घर में हम रह रहे हैं अगर उस घर में हम नहीं रहते तो उसको रेंट पे देते तो उसकी वैल्यू हमें क्या मिलती. सो वी इंक्लूड द वैल्यू इम्प्यूटेड वैल्यू ऑफ ओनर ऑक्यूपाइड हाउसेस. Change in stock of good will be included because it is capital formation. You are adding to the stock of capital. I hope it is clear. I hope you like the video. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Hello everyone. Welcome back.